Welcome to the demo for Funeral for the Sun. This is an investigation game similar to titles such as The Return of Obra Dinn, where we look at scenes from the past and have to figure out who's who and what happened to them. So let's see what we can uncover here. The sun should have set long ago. Has it really only been 3 days? I can barely remember the last time I stepped on solid land. Mom always said that time gets sticky here, when you're deep in the river's veins. I suppose now I'm starting to understand what she meant. Rays of orange light beat down on my skin. The canoe's hull lurches back and forth in an endless rhythm. Everything about this place makes me nauseous. The old man, however, remains unbothered by this. He balances effortlessly on the canoe, humming a song perfectly attuned to every sound the jungle makes. The shallows envelop the old boat as it begins to approach the shore. We're nearing your destination, he says with a smile. I should thank the boatsman before proceeding. Thanks for the ride. The man's eyes meet mine from under his straw hat. Hacienda's right up that way. Why is a city girl like you so interested in the old ruins anyway? Oh, the question caught me off guard. Well, this place got burned down in the 60s, right? I'm writing my thesis on why and how it happened. So you're like a historian or something, eh? I've never seen a historian so deep in the woods. At least not since I was a kid. Did you grow up around here? Of course I was. I've been here my whole damn life. All the articles I've read about the incidents that no one was able to survive the fires. 700 people burned to ashes in a single night. Would you be willing to answer some questions of mine? It'd be really nice to have the perspective of a living townsman. He looks down for a moment. Why can't you let dead things rot? Pardon me? Nothing, but listen. I ain't gonna tell you anything you can't get from reading a damn book or an old news article. I'm sure there's so many stories you could tell. Answer's no, kid. Stop bothering me and go do your little school project. Okay then. He is not particularly friendly then. The boatman's canoe. The way it bobs up and down makes it look like reading with which guy. Yes, so we can explore and we can inspect object a bit point and click style. This is it, the Solenor Hacienda in the flesh. It's one of the only buildings left standing after the fires in 68, at least according to Mom. She did mention it'd be so big though. I should find a way to get in, but the flower to my left catches my eye. So here we are, exploring, finding out secrets, and yes, there is a flower to the left indeed. A cacophony of blue shoots up through my eyes. Vertigo takes hold as my feet cling to the ground. I am somewhere else. I mean, you appear to be in the same place you were, but now it's all blue and ghostly, and there are glitchy ghosts around us, so I guess that's how we'll be exploring the past. A teenager tries to pull a young boy out of the viscous tar pit. His face strains with effort. The little boy has a scar on his cheek. I seem to be completely invisible to them. Even when trying to get in their way, their bodies seem to utterly pass through mine, as if I were a ghost. Or maybe they're ghosts. Help! Help! The young boy squeals. He jerks his head and shudders violently, trying to squirm his way out. The teen is quick to reply. Shut up, Oscar. Can't you see I'm trying? Did Carmelo shove you in? The young boy doesn't answer. I'm going to beat the shit out of the kid. New portraits have been added to your journal. Okay, so yes, this is where we get into what we're doing in this game. We will be looking at those kind of vignettes, ghosts, whatever we want to call them, and then trying to figure out, yes, what their names are, what relationships they have in terms of, well, the first thing we have marked off is killed, but then we also have a couple or parent of. We have different tabs for like combining memories, notes, so we're gonna get into it, I'm sure, but yes. So he said, shut up, Oscar. So that's him. And yes, of course it will be locked after 3 correct answer. Classic for those games by now. We don't know who this is yet, right? He mentioned another name, but this was the person he suspected of throwing the boy into this pit. I mean, it seems very dangerous to just have some sort of tar pit, like literally where the road is, entrance from a house and stuff like. You would think they put a fence or something. A young boy hides in the weeds, barely containing his laughter. Okay, so I assume he did it. Okay, but we get nothing about him other than the sport. Well, we get his portrait and he said that Carmelo did it. So this is probably Carmelo. I'm not sure if he killed the kid. Not sure if this is the moment of his death or can the ghostly events be just random events, not necessarily death. Someone else is here. From the hill, a woman cups her hands together and calls out to the two boys. Jose, did you push your brother into the tar pit? I'm trying to get him out of this mess, you hag. Hag? Oh god, just help me out for once, Nana. He's too fat for me to carry. Help! The boy in the tar pit continues to wallow. She tightly grabs onto a golden rosario and mutters, the Solano children will be the death of me. Okay, so that tells us that their name is Solano. And that tells us the other boy's name is Jose. So we can say Oscar Solano and Jose Solano. We don't know Carmela, I assume he's not related. Now, he said like Nana or something to her, where to me that could imply like a grandmother or something. So there might be related, but the way she says like, oh, those Solano children, which just feels like if she's the grandmother, she would be in the same family. So I'm not quite sure. But anyway, we only have a parent of in that kind of relationship. So we would still have to find the intermediate generation before we can mark that. We can't like mark them as brothers or anything like that. I'm sure all will be revealed over time. Anything else here? A conqueror's statue. At its base, there's a plaque with these words written. Under this sepulchre lies the one true founder, Franco Solano, the Serpent King, 1529-1629. That gives us name Franco. So it's a statue, but who knows, maybe we'll have to go that deep into the family relationships. So I assume we can return through the flower? Yes, so here we've got the scene just with without the ghosts. A nearly dried up tar pit. Yeah, again, just in the middle of the road, someone put up a sign or something. A conqueror statue. I tried to read the copper plaque at the base, but erosion has made it largely ineligible. This is all I could decipher. Of lies founder for Solano Serpent. Okay, so not only can we see stuff in the past, like people's and events. Yeah, I wish I could see what that looked like in the past. But we can also inspect objects to see them before they're decayed. I think we were supposed to go do it the other way. First click the statue here and then click it in the past. But I was like, oh, it's yellow and attractive. Can we go in? The front entrance to the hacienda. It won't budge. There's a faded out flyer. Wheat pasted hastily onto the doors it reads. Evacuation order. Final warning. I have to find another way into the house. Okay, we are not getting through the front door. But we can go up a path there. This is also blinking. A statue once stood here. So only a pile of rubble is left now. Yeah, I think in the past, yeah, it's also a pile of rubble. So it's been this a long way for a long time. Okay, well, we can go over here. Like, one thing I have to say about this game is that while I'm okay with this very hand-drawn graphics that clearly the one dev that's making this game made themselves, some of it is not seem to like work very well in terms of displaying cleanly, like the kind of crunched up and they look a bit, sometimes you can barely tell they're there. So they may have to look into how to make sure it's all displaying correctly. Anyway, we can go this path around the house. So we've got another flower here. I assume for every location there will be one. And there's a door we can click on. A locked door. It won't open. There's a golden knob with a strange keyhole just under it. Okay, we have to find some sort of key. You can see the whole Rutherford oil rig from here. What's left of it anyways. Oh, is that how the whole thing caught fire? Just from the oil fields? There's a purple thing? Something purple shimmers under layers of dirt. Brushing away the sediment, I find a small purse with a purple zipper. I unzip it and my nose is assaulted by the smell of decades-old spoiled weed, turned mostly into mush. The purse has a tag on it with C. Acosta written above the manufacturing details. Okay, we found someone's belongings. There's also, like, I assume this is keep forward. We'll go to the location, but there's also something blinking, like, in this corner. An old jacaranda tree stump has a heart etched into it, the letters M plus N, emblazoned its center. Okay, so yes, there's, like, little details, and they are sparkling, but it's barely visible due to the scale and crunching. Also, is this supposed to be, like, a cat hanging out here? Or is it a crack? Who knows? Anyway, let's look into the past then. Got some people hanging out, and this guy just walking about. Well, what are you two doing? A man sits by a cliff smoking weed with a woman. Her head lies gently on his shoulder. Okay, well, are they the owners of the buried weed? And also, he's got, like, scars on his face, like the same as the boy. The man has a scar on his cheek. Yeah, exactly. So why'd you come back after all these years? You knew your family would be like this. The man sighs. Look, I appreciate you tagging along, but this is personal. Oh, fuck off with this is personal. She tries to imitate his voice. How many years have I known you, dude? You're an asshat most of those. Please just trust me for once. Jesus, fine. He takes a letter out of his breast pocket and hands it to her. Why didn't you show me this sooner? Her eyes widen as she begins to read. Because you really shouldn't be getting involved. Who even wrote this? She interrupts. My Nana. Amadis? Your maid? Okay, so Nana is maid? Another voice calls out from a ways away. What's this god-awful smell? Shit, it's Nate. Quick, put it out, hide it. The two laugh as they begin digging a hole in the ground. They bury the bag neatly, just under the surface. If you suspect two discovered portraits of being the same person, go to the combine page in your journal to combine them. Don't be afraid of making assumptions and testing theories. Yes, so that one seems pretty clear to me, that that man is this boy. Oh, I think I have to place his portrait down first. Right, so that's him. This lady is new. Yes, so now we can make them into the same entry. Yes. See in the web. Yes, see in the web. So Oscar Solinor. So we're not looking just at one single timeline, right? We're looking across the years, so we'll be seeing people at different times in their lives. But that means she is not their grandma, she is their maid. And they said Amadis, so she'll have a different last name. This lady that's with Oscar, when we dug up the package, it said Acosta, C Acosta on it, so that might be her last name, and like her first is C something, but we don't know what. And we do have a couple marking, so they could be a couple. I mean, they're just hanging out, but they seem to be pretty close in that way, so there might be close friends, there might be a couple. I just wanted to try out making a link. I do like that, like the very first option for this is killed, so I assume that will be one that we're gonna use a lot. There's also a tab for memories, but so far we don't have any memories, so we'll see how that comes in. And then there's this guy, they said Nate. A man walks up from the path to the oil rig. He's clearly annoyed at something. What's this god-awful smell? Yeah, so they were saying Nate's coming, so we can put him on here, say he's Nate. Right now I'm just kind of having everything everywhere in a line, but I assume as the relationship becomes clearer between people, we will be able to connect it up better. What else? There is that door. A wall has been vandalized with graffiti. It says, "You're no king, Franco." Looks recent too. Okay, so that's not the door that's next to it. Franco was that statue of the conqueror. Could be him, could be some other guy named Franco. That appears to be all for this memory, so I guess let's go back to the present. Sometimes characters or documents will reference hidden objects. Clicking on or walking near a hidden object will reveal it. Okay, that might have been for this, right? Because they were sitting there and said like, oh, bury it, hide it. And then I found this, but this was interactive before that, right? I saw it was purple here and it has the tiny sparklies, so I was able to do this. I'm not sure if that's intended by the game, or is this a bug and it was only supposed to appear when I heard that conversation. Well, I think let's move forward to the next area. I can't get down with all of those thick plants in the way. So this is the burned out oil field. Let's see it in the past. Oh, giant demon. A bright orange fire rages through the oil rig. A colossal shadow engulfs all the light around it. Wings carpet the sky with black. Logically, I know it won't hurt me. Nothing else in this world seems to know I'm here. But still, I can't help but be afraid in the darkness. I collect myself. I mean, she's making a pretty big assumption that it cannot hurt her, right? Yes, the ghosts of people can see her, but who knows how shadow demons work? We can observe this demon. Like, I wonder if it's like an actual thing. Like, are we dealing with supernatural events? So this thing was actually here, or this is more of a like a personification of something, right? Like, oh, it's the anger or the grief or the fear of all the people that died, right? And it just takes this form when we look into the past. The beast's pitch black feathers would make it impossible to spot against the dark sky, were it not for the raging fire behind it. Its massive form gets slowly revealed as the flames dance. But what is truly captivating to me are its eyes. Eyes filled with such a focused crimson blue that they shine brighter than the moon and all the stars around it. Crimson blue? Interesting, I thought crimson was a red color. They are like two small suns with the power to light up the very atmosphere. It closes them for a moment and I'm blinded by the darkness. Okay, well, it doesn't tell us really about the nature of this shadow demon, but maybe we will learn about it later. The blonde man is barely alive. He wheezes desperately for air. He has a large gash on his back, a gruesome cut that exposes the bone from his spinal cord. Ew. It looks like the claw mark of an enormous beast. Okay, so we're saying the beast is actually killing people? Peeking out of his pocket is a blood-soaked business card. I can only make out the end of a name. Ford. In the webpage of your journal, right-click between two portraits to form a connection between them. Use the pencils above to change the type of the connection. So, are we saying that this beast, because we got the portrait, and it has a first name and a last name, actually killed Nate, right? Curious, curious. Well, we'll leave it at that then. I'm not sure there's anything else to see here. I can't make it to the oil fields. Now, there was... What is that thing next to the house? Oh, there's some sort of ghost. I was gonna say, the oil fields, they're called Rutherford Oil Rig. And he had a business card that said Ford, Nate. So his name might be Rutherford. Oh, 3 names confirmed. These 3 names are now locked in. They can no longer be changed. Well, I assume that's because they're correct, not because I'm stuck with the incorrect answers. So yes, we've got Oscar, we have Jose, and we have Nate. But yes, the ghost was here next to the crack, and now the crack is an entrance, it appears. A note is tacked onto the wall. It says, Donna Herrera, please restock the pantry with eggs. I would like to bake a cake for Os Cerritos' return. Okay, so that's Herrera. I guess it's gonna be some, again, maid, cook or something like that. A broken radio sits atop the windowsill. It can't be turned on. Okay. So this is next room, but we have a flower here so we can look at the ghostly world. Okay, some people are fighting. Oh, he has a knife. A man pins another against the adobe wall. Pots and pans shatter from the impact. They're both bleeding profusely. Okay, here's Oscar again. And is this his brother Jose or someone else? Why are you making me do this? Why'd you have to turn out like this? He's barely holding back tears as he drops his head on the other's shoulder. The other one winces with pain, failing at his attempts to smile through it. He spits in the scarred man's face. You'd have let her burn us all down if you had the chance. I'm protecting you from yourself. You know nothing about her. She was a fucking monster. They all are. You're just too busy rolling around in the mud to... A knife cuts through his words and his throat. Blood curdles down and stains both of their shirts. Shut up! He lets go of the knife and the other's body. It plops clumsily on the floor. He looks at it for a while, with a hint of smile forming, before turning to the door behind him. Who say? He sees a woman looking at him from the doorway. Okay, so now it's telling us we can change the connection between them. Not sure what we're changing. I think... Well, we have this woman here. I think she's new. And then we have this portrait here, which I guess, like, I'm thinking it's gonna be Jose. We can attempt to combine them. Yes, that is a match. And then we know that Oscar killed his brother, Jose? Yes. Okay, so those lines are now confirmed. So we can confirm connections between people, things, even before we know their full names. So that's nice, because that means we can get those things on the board and locked in, and we don't have to be like, trying to remember it later because it wouldn't let us mark it up. Okay, well, things are pretty grim in here, right? It seems like people died of more than just the fire situation. What did you do? Oh, this is your fault too. This is your fault too. He gets angry as he repeats those words. I'm sorry, she whimpers. Her words trace off. The scarred man approaches. I will kill the whole bloody lot of you. The scream reverberates across the house. Okay, well, he was saying like, oh, Jose, why did you turn out like this? But it seems Oscar also turned out a bit like murderers or something. So, yeah. Cool family you have here. I guess this is when he returned, right? Where he was like, oh, my family is such trash. Another room, another potential murder scene, but let's check out what's here first. A gossip column from July 1st, 1947 lies on the windowsill. It reads, Solana's son will not bear the founder's name. In an unprecedented move, the patriarch of the family has broken the 16th generation trend. There doesn't seem to be anything useful past the headline. The page is mostly littered with ads of women in swimsuits applying sunscreen, the latest in home cooking technology, and a call out for English and piano lessons. Okay, so there's something with like someone doesn't have the name because something, but not clear who and where. Okay, that's another room. So before we go on, let's do the flower in here. See the ghosts. Okay, more people on the ground. A woman cries over a corpse. Its face is unrecognizable through the gore. I'm sorry, she repeats to herself. Okay, so that woman again, but this is someone else. Someone else got beat up so hard we can't even tell who they are. And those two guys talking here. A sullen older man speaks to another young man holding up a notebook and pen. The younger man is wearing a badge. It says Sir Enrique Passarello. Okay, so he's like a detective. So let me get this straight. You're saying this random assailant storms in through the pantry, knives the brother, and then comes out here to shoot the other one with a hunting rifle? That seems to be the case. I was out fishing. I only arrived after the shots were fired. And you witnessed this exactly as he describes, ma'am? He turns over, look at the woman. Her mind is adrift. Ma'am? Yes. It was like that. Why didn't they just use the gun from the start? You sure ask a lot of questions, Quique. I am a detective. And I'm grieving. Let us be. You think this has anything to do with the fires? I said, let us be. Okay, so they're saying they're covering up for Oscar killing Jose and saying someone else broke in and did that and tried to shoot Oscar, but instead they beat him up. So who is this, right? It's someone they're framing for the whole situation. Okay, so we have the detective. So he was Enrique Passarello. I apologize for all my pronunciations. And then we have this old guy. He might be like the actual father or something. I mean, she could possibly be the mother as well. It's kind of sometimes hard to say like what people's ages are on this. Let's see what else we can see, because like I'm getting lots of bits of info now, but as it is with those games, there might be a while before we have proper info to identify more people. So let's go to the next room, see what other crimes are being committed. While interacting with an object or character, you can press save memory to store it in your notebook. Okay, so we have this calendar here. On the floor, it's a calendar from 1968. Its pages are pretty faded, but I'm surprised at how legible it still is. It looks like it stopped being used on July 18th, judging by the check marks on each day. Someone marked out important birthday and anniversaries. Here's the list. January 17, Oscarita turns 24 and Charia turns 4. April 8th, Amadis turns 85. May 19th, my birthday. May 28th, flowers to L. June 30th, Franco turns 57. Jose turns 31. July 1st, Marta and Nate's anniversary. November 11th, Nate's birthday. November 30th, Madeleine turns 12. October 25th, flowers to Mama. November 12th, Papa turns 80. December 1st, Marta turns 30. December 15th, flowers to Marta. Okay, we've got some extra name, and we've got like lots of people's birthdays and ages as well. So that will probably let us establish who they might be based on the ages and something like that. But right now there's bunch of extra ages and things like that without knowing really how they apply. This is all other locations, so let's see into the past. Okay, lots of people. Those two, like, they're fighting. There's a fire outside. Torches dance around the perimeter of the house, accompanied by steady drums and shouting townsfolk. Okay, did the townsfolk come to kill the family? Occasionally, sets of eyes appear from under the fire, trying to peer through the windows. The workers united will never be divided. They chant alongside numerous other slogans. Okay, so it's some sort of town uprising against the family that owns everything. Okay, and the calendar is nailed into the wall this time. We can also save that. It looks like today's date is July 19th. Okay, because, well, that was when they stopped using it, so I assume that was when they were driven out / killed. Oh, give it a week and they'll fall in line. They just need to let their anger out in a controlled environment. Besides what, Mr. Solinar? The blonde man behind him responds. Okay, so he's Solinar, like, I guess he might be the father of the family. My son Jose, he can handle things if they go south. Just like last time, he's interrupted by a shout across the room. The two men turn quickly in the direction of the sound. Let go of me. Okay, something's going on. But yes, that tells us that the old guy here is Solinar, and he is the parent of Oscar and Jose, so we can link him like this. Then we have this person sitting here. A woman stares blankly through the window at something beyond the torch fire. She's seen better days, judging from her tangled hair, sullen eyes, and stained dress. She carries a checkerboard fabric across her shoulder and clings to it tightly as her eyes start to rest. She's alone in this house. Okay, she seems fairly depressed, disconnected, like things are just happening around her. And yes, we have this fight going on here. A woman tries to slip away from the gathering unnoticed. Where are you trying to go? The drunk man grapples her bicep. The leather fabric of her jacket squeaks loudly from his grip. What is it to you? I know you're up to something. I just can't prove it. Let go of me. She winces. The fuck is your problem, man? A scarred man rushes down the stairs. This commie's planning something, he says, slurring his words. I'm on to you. He lets go of her arm and chuckles. Okay, so he was harassing her. That might be how the fight broke out later. And that's why he dies. That might be all in the past here. We can go through this door. Oh. There's a knocking sound. Who's here with me? I'm not alone here. Someone's knocking loudly on the door. I open it. Okay, there's actual person. But yes, I've been saving all of those memories, but maybe I don't need to. Yes, it's all just free form what we want to save. And we can replay that dialogue if we want to without having to go to it. So probably didn't need to save the things I saved. I was just like, oh, is it telling me I need to? But no, it was just introducing the mechanic. That's fine. Who are you? Because you're not a ghost. Oh, it's the guy from the boat. My, I forget how big this place was. The boatsman's voice reverberates through the walls, almost clinging to them. I wonder for a moment what his history with this place is. Hi again. Have you changed your mind about the interview? Nope. Well, why are you here then? He pauses for a moment. I figured that this is the least I could leave you with. He hands me a golden key with a small red ruby inlaid on it. It will take you to something mine. Wait, who are you? Did you once live here, in this house? I thought you were a historian or something. You tell me. You're quite grating, you know that? He says nothing more and closes the door behind him. Okay, so he's a member of the family, potentially. Oops. Didn't mean to leave the room. Just an older version of someone here who isn't dead. Well, we know Nate is dead and Jose is dead. The dad was probably super old, so he might... Like, I'm not sure what year it is right now, but it seems like he would be potentially dead by now. And it's not Oscar because he doesn't have the scars. Could be the detective. Like this case broke him and he moved over to just going on boats and stuff like that. Well, we'll see. I assume that's part of the mystery. Fig vines sway out gently from the ceiling, breathing the damp and dusty air, spores clinging to their skin. Just past them I can make out a giant room. It's such a shame. I can't access it. Why can't you? Like, go through the vines. No flower here, so there's nothing to see in the past. Oh, this thing is also interactive. I just talked to the boatsman here. After entering the house, he gave me the key that he said led to something that belonged to him. Why does the boatsman have a such fancy-looking key in the first place? Who is he? Okay, so this is just the memory of us talking to him, saved on this table. Anyway. Oh, okay, so this is the front door that lets us go back through. Okay, so if we go back, we can also go upstairs. The fig vines prevent my access to the second floor. If only I could cut through. Okay, so maybe we will need to find some tools to get through the vines. Okay, so he gave us this key. Is there anything that we can remember that could be open? Oh, this door. Yeah. The boatsman key worked. A faint thumping noise emanates from a safe ahead. Why is the safe beating like a heart? It sounds like a heart. Yeah, exactly. A locked safe. Okay, we need day, month, year of something. No, we can see into the past, see if there's any clues. No, someone's opening it. I hear the sound of cracking embers in the distance. His birthday, a woman says, frantically opening a safe. Your boyfriend's father is quite the narcissist, she says, trying to keep calm. Okay, so this is probably something like we want to save, right? His father's birthday is the code save. Click. The safe opens and the woman grabs something from it. Like, we can't just come in, like, they can't see us, they're ghosts. Why can't we just come in and, like, take a peek at the code? As long as I take this, he has no recourse, right? She grabs a folder from the safe and puts it in her jacket. Yeah, so she is up to something. That's our only hope. The boatsman said that his key would take us to something of his. Could this person they're talking about be the boatsman? But that would then imply the boatsman is the father of the family. So we want the father's birthday. If we go back to the calendar, it had lots of birthday. But yes, I should probably save this then, because then I can go for all the birthday without having to walk here. So June 30, Franco turns 57. I wonder if that's what it was about, where like they're all called Franco until those last kids we were looking at, Oscar and Jose, and none of them are called Franco. So eventually June 30, and he's turning 57. So then we will just count back to the year. Oh no, we also have November 12th, Papa turns 80. Okay. That makes more sense, I think, for it. So the calendar is from 1968, and he's 80 then. So he was born in 1888? Well, let's go and try it out. See if that adds up. Yes, the safe with the heart. So that's 12th of November. Oh, it's just we just need 88. No, that's not it. Well, we can go revisit the calendar from our memories and see what is it? Because yes, it's 1968. Because yeah, the other one I was looking is that Franco turns 57. So I switched to this one because it says Papa turns 80, but then I'm like, am I again misunderstanding? Could it be the whole Franco turns 57 instead? So that one is June 30, and the year would be 1911. So if we go enter that, 30th of June and 11. Yeah, okay, that was it. So the safe swing open and that thumping sound echoes through the room. I see a flower inside, breathing as if it were in pain somehow. I touch it against my better judgment. Okay, spooky. I'm taken aback by the man inside the tree. The bark, straw, and wood have impaled from every angle they could find. It was hard to distinguish where his body ended and the branches began. I see you, child. Okay, they can see us now. Huh? How? For a while, I don't know what to say. I can sense it, him, looking at me, waiting for me to say something. I stammer out the simplest question I could think of. Who are you? He wheezes, slowly turns to me, neck cranking and cracking with the sound of splintering wood. I don't remember. I notice his accent. It's completely foreign to me. Do you know the boatsman? Do you know Franco? Yes, the serpent. The serpent. What do you mean by the serpents? Why are you in a tree? He says something in a language I don't understand. A few of the sounds stand out to me. And the occasional clicks all indicate it's some sort of indigenous language, but not one I've ever been exposed to. It made me wonder, how old are you exactly? Memory is a fickle thing. His visible eye lights up saying those words before quickly fading back into darkness. The man was incomprehensible to me, I knew that, but I felt like I was inching towards understanding. There had to be some more information I could get out of him. Do you know any of these people? I point to the sketches of my family tree in my notebook. All, he says. Are the memories I've seen, are those your memories? In ways. The man nods, his neck cracking loudly. So much forgotten, so much being remembered. Does that mean maybe, if I keep filling out this notebook, will that help you remember more things about you and who you are? The old man nods. Remembering. I can try to recover your memories, and maybe we can figure out how to get you out. Does that sound okay? The man nods one more time, as something in the back of his eye begins to flicker. And that's a goal. I need to know who this man is in the beating heart of this house. When does his history start? When does it end? And what was he trying to say about serpents? The questions raced through my head as my heart pounded. I need to get to work, I thought to myself. I look at his eye one more time and see that he moves his one exposed hand to scratch off the bark from the side of his face, as if he was peeling back the layers of skin. From underneath all that matter, I see a tree-clawed scar right the side of his face. It begins to glow blue and he vanishes. And that's it. That's the end of the demo. Okay, well, that's quite interesting. Again, I think the visuals are a bit rough, but I'm willing to push through that, right? If the story is good and the exploration is good. And so far, yes, it looks like it very much borrows from a lot of those kind of games I like, right? So like Obra, Dinn, a little bit of Rootrees, a little bit of those sort of filling in the gaps, filling in identity games. And I mean, I'm interested in that, right? We'll see how it develops. I assume there will be many more people and many more stories, right? We haven't seen the whole extent of the game. That's just a teaser. It's not everything is solvable, the demo, I assumed so. It's supposed to come out towards the second half of 2026. There's probably like few more things we could have potentially identified in this web, right? Like that their dad is their fault called Franco. Although again, that might not be their dad. We probably don't have enough to confirm here. So yeah, we only get a glimpse of this family, their story. But yes, there will be death, there will be plotting, there will be secrets. I guess another thing they were trying to imply that potentially he might be the dad. I mean, can we combine those two? Yes. So the boatman is the father of those two from the previous stories. So he was there while it was going down, and he was like, "Oh, it's all fine." And then one of the sons killed the other, and he like covers it up and everything. So that's interesting. This family certainly has many secrets. But yes, that will be it for this playthrough of the demo. Let me know in the comments what you think about this one. I am quite curious about this sort of investigation games, so I will be looking forward to seeing how this one develops. And if you enjoy this content, consider liking or subscribing. Thank you to channel members for supporting the channel, and I will see you soon on another adventure.